Okay, so sitting on a mat, cross-leg kneeling, whatever your preference may be. Tilt the pelvis forwards, lengthen through your spine, rolling your shoulder blades backwards and closing your eyes. Starting to settle. Settling into your body, into your breath. Shifting your focus, your awareness away from thoughts, away from thinking. As you come into your body, into your breath. Normal breathing, natural breaths. Tuning into your body as it is. Feeling without thinking. Not wishing it was otherwise. Being as you are. Every feeling, every sensation in your body. Allow yourself to soften as you tune in. Soften your body. Soften your breath. No thoughts need thinking about. And there is nowhere else to be. Taking control of your breath. Breathing in deeper. Deep belly breaths in and out through the nose. Every inhale, breathe into the belly, filling your lungs. Every exhale, squeezing all the breath out of your body. Deeper breaths in and longer breaths out. So to open our practice this evening, we're going to open with Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. So placing the index finger and the middle finger on the forehead, thumb on one nostril, ring finger on the other. Closing one nostril, breathing in through the open one. Swapping the nostrils and exhaling through the other. Inhaling through the same, exhaling through the other. Inhaling through the same, exhaling through the other. Keep it going. Just passing a deep breath between your nostrils. And if you like, bringing a pause between the inhale and the exhale. Suspending the breath for a moment, for as long as you like. When we hold our breath, the body is at its most still, allowing us to really tune in even deeper. So just finding the rhythm of your breathing. Passing a deep breath between both of the nostrils. Two more breaths. And then keeping the same level of focus on your breathing, bringing your hand away from your face, settling back into deep yogi breaths. Breathing through both the nostrils and belly breaths. So opening your eyes and placing both of your feet on your mats in front of you, and then just windscreen wipe the legs. So taking the legs side to side, both sides of both of your knees touching either side of the floor. So if one leg is landing on top of the other, taking the feet wider, going for that full rotation of the thigh bone, ball and socket joining the hips. And then coming back to center. Placing the backs of your hands on the outside of your ribs, and then tucking your elbows on the insides of your thighs. So get the arms nice and tucked in, bring the feet closer, and then using your breath as you exhale, squeezing the thighs together. And bring the elbows to touch. 2 more breaths. And releasing the arms. So feet hip distance apart, hands on the floor behind you. Spread the fingers nice and wide, lock the elbows in, squeeze your shoulder blades as close as you can bring them. And then as you inhale, reverse table, so pressing down to the heels, pressing down to your hands, lifting your hips as high as you can, keeping your shoulder blades squeezing close. Looking at your knees, otherwise hanging the head, looking for the wall behind. Pushing through the chin, opening through the throat, opening the whole front of your body. I'm gonna send the hips even higher, squeeze the shoulder blades closer, press harder into the heels, harder into the hands. 1 more breath, and then looking back at your knees. As you exhale, swing your bum through your arms and keep your bum off the floor. As you inhale, coming back up. Exhaling back through, inhaling up. Keep it going, a few more breaths. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, smooth movements. So no momentum, just controlling the movement the whole way. And then the next time you come up, turn the toes out, walk your hands forwards, coming into Malasana, your deep yogi squats. So pressing to the outside of the feet, taking the knees wider. Elbows on the inside of the knees, bring the palms together, hands towards your hearts and down towards your hips. Opening, lengthening through the whole of your body. And then deep belly breaths. Breathing all the way down into your pelvic floor muscles. As you exhale, engaging more of your body. Squeezing all the breath out of every cell. And then grabbing a hold of your big toes with both sets of your peace fingers. So then straighten the legs, lift the bum, turn the heels out so your feet are parallel. And then either just hanging out of your hips, otherwise use the strength of your arms, pulling yourselves into that forward fold. So legs as straight as they can be without locking the knees in, but keeping the knees soft. Tilt from the pelvis, hang out of your hips, softening through the whole of your spine, softening your neck, full weight of your head hanging forwards, and then just breathing through whatever you feel. If you want, you can pull yourselves deeper by using the strength of your arms, fingers wrapped around your big toes, pulling the upper body between the legs. And then just 2 more breaths. And then releasing your big toes, hanging your arms, nice and slowly start stacking your spine. So again, keep the knees soft as you start to place one vertebrae on top of the other. Enjoying the journey, feel the full weight of your head still pulling forwards as it's the last thing to lift up. And eventually coming all the way up to standing, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. So big toes together, small gap between the heels, straightening through the legs, lengthening through the spine. Rolling shoulder blades back towards each other, palms facing front. Deep belly breath in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling, deep belly breath. Exhaling, swan dive to forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, step on the right foot back, come to runner's lunge. Hold the breath, kick back to plank. Exhaling, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. Inhaling, sliding up to cobra, pressing hips down, lifting shoulders. As we exhale, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, step on the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left foot between the hands. Inhaling, pressing to the heels, reaching through the fingers. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. And again, breathing in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling long through the sides of the body, reaching through the fingers. Exhaling, swan dive to forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, step on the left foot back, come to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kick back to plank. Exhaling, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chin on the mat, bums in the air. Inhaling, sliding up to cobra, pressing hips down, lifting shoulders. Exhaling, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, step on the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right foot between the hands. Inhaling, reaching through the whole of your body's deep belly breath. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose, last round, deep breath in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling last time, reaching through the whole of your body, pushing the hips forward, a bit of a back bend. As we exhale, swan dive to a forward fold, hands on the floor. Stepping or jumping back to a plank. Half press up, chaturanga. So nice and low to your mat, elbows close into the body as we inhale, coming through into upward facing dog. Tops of the feet on the floor. Lifting the knees, lifting the hips, pulling your chest forwards through the arms as you press into your palms. Shoulder blades squeezing them behind you. Creases of your elbows pointing forwards, elbows pointing backwards. And really drawing the chest forwards through the arms, shoulder blades coming back. And as you press into your hands, shoulders coming away from the ears, as your head lifts up, breathing into the back bend. Two more breaths. As we exhale, tucking the toes, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. So in your down dog, lifting the right leg as high as you can up in the air. Bending the right knee so the right heel comes close to the bum, and then opening the hips. So right foot coming over towards the left side of the room. Right hip stacked on top of your left hip. The right knee is the highest point of your body. The heel stays close to the bum. You're pushing the floor away, trying to bring your head further through the arms towards the back of your mats, really pressing down into the left heel. And can you see your right toes from under your left armpit? And then nice and slowly bring the right knee into the chest. Try and bring your forehead and your knee to touch. Rolling forwards into a high plank, shoulders coming over the wrists, to then step the right foot between the hands. Dropping your left knee to the floor, the top of your left foot on your mats. Inhaling, both hands reaching up, and exhaling, crescent moon. With every exhale, getting deeper into the hips as you send your hips further forwards, stabilizing the pelvis, pulling the right hip back, left hip forwards, opening the whole front of your body. Keep reaching back through the arms or any other variation. Just trying to keep the chest open and shoulders down away from the ears. Breathing into all the open spaces. Strong breaths. One more breath. And then folding forwards, hands on the floor on the inside of your right leg, setting up your lizard lunge. So shoulders nice and low, walking your hands forwards. Forearms, elbows, maybe your forehead's coming down to your mats as well, but only if the whole sole of your right foot stays in contact with your mats and you're staying close to the inside of your right leg. And then with your eyes closed, just breathing here. Using every breath. Going deeper inside your body. Exploring whatever you're feeling. Tension, tightness, temperature. Just using your breath to connect and release. So last breath. And then coming back on the hands. Bring your right hand on the outside of your right leg. Step your right foot forwards out in front of you, and then pull your right toes back to get the right knee locked in. So knee is locked, toes pulling back towards you. Walk your hands forwards, and then tilt from the pelvis, lengthen through the spine, folding forwards down the right leg, trying to bring your forehead towards the right knee, but really make sure this movement is starting in the hips and the pelvis. So imagine you've got water in your hips and you're pouring that water forwards down towards the right heel, only going as far as you can with the right knee locked in. As soon as the knee starts to bend, don't go so far. Bring the hands further back, get the knee locked in, have the whole leg locked so you can feel the stretch from the heel all the way up to the hip. So one more breath. And then pulling your right foot back towards you, tucking your left toes and straightening both legs. So coming up to standing, pushing away through the right heel, pressing back into the left heel. So make sure your feet are on train tracks, facing the same direction. Left heel hovering as you drive back through the heel. Walk your hands away from you, and again, tilt from the pelvis, lengthen through your spine, folding forwards to bring your forehead towards that right shin, but nice and strong in both of your legs. So you're really keeping the legs strong, keeping the legs active, pushing your mat away, really making the forwards movement, all from the hips, all from the pelvis, and then just softening through the spine. A couple more breaths here, listening as your breath passes through your nostrils. Last breath. And then stepping your left foot halfway up your mats. So now, again, feet on train tracks, nicely planted, lengthening through the spine so your shoulders come in line with your hips. Staying here, otherwise the next step is bring your hands to your hearts, lifting your elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades backwards. Maybe reverse namaste, palms together between the shoulder blades. Again, pulling the shoulder blades back, lengthening through the spine, lifting the elbows nice and high, lengthening through the crown of your head, pressing away through both the legs, nice and strong, pushing down into both heels. 2 more breaths. And then placing both hands back onto your mats, stepping your left foot next to your right foot, and then stepping your left foot over the right leg. So try and bring pinky toes to touching, crossing your legs, keeping both knees soft. Try not to let the back knee lock in, and then just hanging forwards out of your hips, trying to bring your forehead towards that left knee. And again, just really allow gravity to do the work for you. Again, deep breaths. Use every breath. Try and expand every breath into whatever you feel. And as you exhale, connect to the release, softening your body. Last breath. And then uncrossing the legs, stepping the left foot back, coming back to downward facing dog. Pushing the floor away, hips nice and high. Option to rest, option to freestyle, otherwise vinyasa with your breath. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling press up. Inhaling up dog. Exhaling back into down dog. So when you're back in your downward facing dogs, lifting your left leg nice and high. Bending the left knee, opening the left hip. So left foot coming over towards the right side of the room, pushing the floor away through the arms, pressing down into the right heel, lifting the left knee as high as you can. Can you see your left toes from under your right armpit? 2 more breaths here. And then bring in the left knee into the chest. Try and bring your forehead and your knee touching. And then rolling forward into a high plank, shoulders coming over the wrists. To then step your left foot between the hands. Dropping your right knee to the floor, top of your right foot on your mats. Inhaling, both hands reaching up. And as we exhale, once again, palming into crescent moon. So again, really send your hips forwards, hips moving forwards, hands, shoulders moving backwards. Bringing that crescent moon shape through the whole of your body. Deep breaths. If you ever need a deeper lunge, keep bringing the left foot further out in front of you. Keeping that pelvis nice and stabilized. Pulling left hip back, right hip forwards. So last breath. And then folding forwards, hands onto your mats on the inside of your left leg. Lizard lunge. Shoulders low, hands forwards. Forearms, elbows again, maybe foreheads. Grounding into the whole sole of your left foot. Pulling the thigh tighter into your body. And closed eyes with your breath. Breathe, explore. Every breath, a bridge between your mind and your body. Explore the connection. Strengthen that mind-body connection. Deep breaths. Listening to your breathing as it passes through your nose. Last breath. And then coming back on your hands. Bringing the left hand on the outside of the left leg, stepping your right foot further forwards, and then pulling your right toes back to lock the right knee in. Keep pulling the toes back towards you. Tilt from the pelvis, walk your hands forwards, and then folding through the spine, down the leg. Trying to bring your forehead to the knee, down the shin. But again, only keeping the left knee locked in. So as it starts to bend, don't go so far. And feel that you're moving forwards from your pelvis, tilting from the pelvis before you round through your spine. Listening to every breath. If you're listening to your breathing, then you cannot be listening to any thoughts. No distractions. 2 more breaths. And then pulling your left foot back towards you. Tucking your right toes, feet on train tracks. And straightening both legs. So pushing away through the left heel, driving back into the right heel. Again, legs straight but knees not locked in as you walk your hands forwards from the pelvis through the spine, coming down the leg, and then breathing through all of the legs, all the way down to the heels. You press harder through the legs, try and drive down into your left heel, drive back into the right heel.
As you exhale, squeeze the belly in, tilt more from the pelvis, from the hips. And then stepping your right foot halfway up your mats. So feet on train tracks, nicely planted, lengthening through the spine, shoulders in line with the hips. And then again, either here, hands at the hearts, or reverse namaste. So again, palms together between the shoulder blades. As you lengthen through the spine, legs nice and strong, pressing away through both heels, trying to make as many straight lines as you can in the whole of the body. So through the spine, through both the legs, even through one elbow to the other. Trying to lift the elbows high, keeping the chest open. 2 more breaths, squeezing on the exhale. And placing both your hands back on your mat, stepping your right foot next to your left foot, and then crossing the right foot over the left foot, crossing the legs. Try and have your little pinky toes touching, neither of your knees locked in, and then again, forward fold, just hanging out your hips, softening the full weight of your head so your neck is relaxed. And then breathing here. Trying to deepen every breath. At the end of your inhale, breathing in some more. At the end of your exhale, squeezing out a little bit more. So last breath. And then stepping the right foot back, stepping your left foot back, downward facing dog. And an option to rest, freestyle, otherwise vinyasa, with your breath. So once you are back in your downward facing dogs, hop, step or jump back into your forward fold. So feet between the hands. So big toes touching, small gap between the heels. Grab a hold of your elbows and for a few breaths, just hang forwards out of your hips. Again, legs as straight as they can be, but not locking the knees in. Full weight of the upper body just hanging forwards. So let gravity do the work for you. Breathing space between every vertebrae. One more breath. And then in your forward fold, placing your left fingertips on your mats, right peace fingers, grab a hold of your right big toe. So use your left hand to support you. First of all, picking the right foot up as high as you can. Try and bring the right knee to the outside of the right shoulder. This is step 1. For step 2, straightening the right leg out in line with the right hip. You can lock the right knee in, trying to bring both of your legs to a 90-degree angle. So go as far as your body will allow, and then hold for deep 5 breaths. 5 good belly breaths. So even if you just stay working at option 1, trying to get that foot nice and high. And after 5 breaths, coming back in as you came, no, come out as you came in. And then we'll do the other side. So right fingertips supporting on your mats, left peace fingers around the left big toe, picking the left foot up, again nice and high. So the left arm is on the inside of the left leg as you try and get maximum height. Step 1 and then step 2, left leg out in line with the left hip, locking the left knee in, driving away through the left heel. And again, trying to bring the legs to a 90-degree angle as best you can. So again, 5 deep belly breaths, wherever you can manage. And after 5 breaths, coming back to your forward folds. So peace fingers around both your big toes, and then lifting both legs. Never gets old, does it? So keeping the heels down, start bending your knees, coming down into a little baby squat, but only going as far as you can with your heels still on your mat. So as you come down, if the heels start to lift, don't go any further. That'll be where you work. Trying to open the ankles back to the legs. And anywhere else this might be pulling. 3 more breaths. Again, listen to your breathing, pulling on your big toes. And then coming down onto your hands and onto your knees. So we're going to do a mini headstand. Okay? So just a reminder, we want to be on the crown of our heads. So for the crown of our head, thumb between the eyebrows, hand flat to your head, and where your fingertips land, this is the crown of the head, part of the head we'll be putting onto our mats. So for today's headstand, you want to come knees under the hips and hands under the shoulders. You're then going to place the crown of your head onto your mats so that your arms come into a nice 90-degree angle. So you really want your wrists to be under your elbows and your elbows to be tucked in close to your sides. Maybe this is enough. You can work here. There's a weight on the head. To go further, you tuck your toes and you lift your knees, lift your hips to bring more weight onto your head. Next step, to go further, you walk your feet towards your face so the hips are now higher. There's more weight on the top of the head. Staying here, otherwise next step, you're bringing your knees onto your upper arms. So you're going to be balancing on the upper arms, bringing your big toes together and tucking the heels close in towards your bum. Here, there's a few options to work the abdominals. We can straighten one leg out in line with the hip, hold that for a few breaths, and then same again with the other leg. And then once we are ready to come out, we're going to try for the jumping dismount into chaturanga. So for the dismount, the arms are not going to move. The movement comes from the shoulders. So what you're going to do here is looking at the bottom of your mats. That's where you're going to throw your toes. That's where your feet are going to land. So then you just jump back, come into chaturanga, so your arms stay bent, elbows locked in, and then coming up, upward facing dog. So, giving it a go. Coming onto hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Bring the crown of your head forwards and down onto your mats. So don't have the head between the hands, have the head in front of your hands. You want to have your wrists under your elbows, arms at a 90-degree angle. And then staying as you are. Otherwise, next step is to tuck your toes and lift your knees, lift your hips. To go further, walk your feet towards your face, bring your hips higher. More weight on the head. Staying here, otherwise next step is to bring the knees onto the tops of the upper arms. And then you'll be balancing on your hands, on your head. Trying to bring the big toes together, heels close to the bum,
So again, just taking it as far as you can, hold for a few breaths. If there is discomfort in the head, that's just the experience of bone density needing to be more dense. So regular practice of this will strengthen that bone, thicken your skull, and make the bone density of your skull stronger. Inversions are very good for extra blood flow to the brain. Working with gravity, sending more blood to the head, expands the veins, expands the capillaries, so they grow bigger, which means more oxygen absorption in the brain. Say again. There we go. Coming back down onto your bumps. Actually, before we come down to anything else, we'll stretch the neck out, just because we put a bit of weight on top of the neck. So, sitting up nice and tall, lengthen through your spine, pull your shoulder blades backwards, and then bring your right ear to your right shoulder. So keep the shoulder blades back, keep the chest open, try and find the stretch down the left side of the neck. Sternomastoid muscle attaches just behind the top of the ear, down through the neck into the left collarbone. Staying here, otherwise if you want more of a stretch, place the right hand on the left shoulder and you can push it away just to open up the area a little bit more. And if you still want extra, then you just rest your hand on top of your head. And you're not pulling, it's literally just the added weight of your hand is enough to add an extra stretch through the left side of your neck. Feel your breath passing through this muscle in the side of your neck. And then one more breath before using your right hand just to push your head back up to center. And then bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Again, keep the spine nice and long, keep the chest open. Any of the options, so left hand on the right shoulder or left hand resting on the head. Again, just to open the side of your neck a little bit more. Breathing through whatever you feel. Deep breaths, strong belly breaths. Two more breaths. And then using your left hand, just pushing your head back to center. And then keep pulling the shoulder blades backwards, bring the chin forwards into the chest. This is enough, otherwise, both hands on the back of the head, and you pull on the head. So again, keep the shoulder blades backwards, keep the spine long, but use the strength of your arms to pull the chin into your chest and really open the back of your neck. So 2 more breaths here. And removing the hands, allowing the head just to lift back up. And then lifting your chin as high as you can, pushing through the chin to open through the throat, really stretching the front of the neck. Lift your chin as high as you can and then open your mouth. Your head will fall back further, and then keep your head here as you try and bring your bottom jaw to your upper jaw, try to close your mouth and just feel the extra stretch in the jaw and the throat. So last breath here. And then bring the head back forwards. And then pull the meat of your bums, your sitting bones are facing backwards. Pushing away through the heels, toes back towards you.
Inhale, reach up, and as you exhale, folding forwards, grabbing a hold wherever you can. So toes, ankle, shin, doesn't matter where. Just grab a hold so you can pull yourself forward. Trying to bring your chin and your chest forwards first. Trying to come down the legs, so that movement starting in the pelvis and the hips. If you can maintain the work that you feel here, and then you can round through the spine, starting to bring your forehead towards your legs. But otherwise, keep working, pulling the chin and chest forwards so you feel that work happening, tops of the thigh bones, in the hips. With every breath, really giving your internal organs a good massage, really squeeze the belly in, press the belly button into the spine. As you exhale, empty your lungs, try and pull yourselves deeper. Two more breaths. And then gently releasing, arming up. And then placing your feet on your mats, just slide your bum a bit further forward as you come down to lying on your backs, lying on your mats. And then arms along the floor in line with the shoulders, palms facing the ceiling. Bring the feet and the legs together. And then just bring the legs onto the floor on the right side of your mats. So the left leg on top of the right leg. Just an easy passive spinal twist, keeping your left shoulder blade pressing down into your mats. The closer you bring your knees up towards your right armpit, the more of a twist you're going to get through the spine. So up to you how far you go with it. But otherwise, the left leg on top of the right leg just staying here. If you want to go and add a bit more, you can straighten through the left leg and lock the left knee in as you grab the left foot with the right hand. That's just really going to open up the outside of the left leg, open up through the left side of your body. But again, keep that left shoulder blade on your mats, and then just breathing here. Few more breaths. Again, listen to your breathing. Squeeze from the belly. And then bring the legs back together, coming back to center, coming back into your mats. And then twisting, going the other way. So dropping the legs onto the floor on the left side of your mats, the right leg on top of the left leg. Again, nice, easy, passive twist. Maybe tuck the knees closer towards the left arm, keeping your right shoulder blade pressing down onto your mats. And if you like a bit extra, then straightening the right leg, pushing through the right heel, locking the right knee in, grabbing the right foot with the left hand. And then just breathing through your body. Deep breaths. Exploring everything that you feel with every part of your breath. Last 3 breaths. And then gently, slowly, making your way back into your mats. Bring both of your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Pull the knees into your body. Maybe rock side to side, massage your lower back. Just give yourself a squeeze, give yourself a hug. And then when you're ready, coming into Shavasana, final relaxation. So spread yourselves out, spacing the legs, spacing the armpits, palms facing the ceiling, hands away from the body. Try and bring every vertebrae in your spine to make contact with your mats. And then nothing left to do. Calming to the stillness of your body.
And once again, breathing easy. Normal breathing, natural breaths. Tuning into your body as it is. Entering into rest, into stillness. Giving yourself this time to practice letting go. Softening your body with every exhale. Just allowing yourself to release more and more. No thoughts need thinking about. Give yourself this time completely. Just listen to your breath, to your body, feeling, observing, taking the time to tune in, exploring that mind-body connection, and recognizing that they are the same. Breathing deeply. Getting ready to move. Wiggling fingers and toes. Rotating wrists and ankles. And then moving any way that feels good for you. Full body stretch, arms overhead, pointing through toes, pushing through heels. Just moving how you want to move. And then when you're ready, making your way to sitting on your mats. Super. Thank you very much. Namaste.